Greetings and welcome to another episode of The Campus Life with myself, the boss lady Joy Fagote. Today, we're going to be diving into something that makes the world go round, and actually my favorite topic, money. Whether you want to be a budgeting boss or perhaps an investing pro, or maybe you just want to spend your money wisely without feeling guilty about things, then this is the conversation definitely for you. And here to shed more information for us and more light on the topic is none other than President and co-founder of UJ Investment Society, Craig Tapeni. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today and helping us really understand something that is a bit of a complex topic. Do you view money as a complex topic? Let me start there.
I view money as an exchange of value, basically,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
When you do work for me or I do work for you, you pay me with 20 rand, right? And that's basically the value of your labor, right? When you probably, let's say you want to buy, let's say KFC, it's going for 20 rand, you're going to KFC to exchange value, right? So money is just an exchange of value, in my honest opinion.
It's so interesting that you say that. I remember, as you're saying that, I remember a quote that is about money is an exchange of your time. Hence why you should be careful what job you pick, because that's what you're dedicating your time to. And is time not more valuable than money?
Well, I wouldn't know, but I think it's also contextual because when someone said when you are young, you have infinite amounts of energy and time,
Yeah.
right? When you grow, infinite amounts of energy, time, and health, right? When you grow old, probably you start making more money, but you don't have time and you don't have energy and health. So, and when you start making money, I think you get to a point where you start, pegging your hour to the dollar, saying, okay, if my time is probably worth 10,000 rand, so whatever I'm doing, is it bringing me this or that, right? Yeah, but either way, yeah, I think it's contextual, but my own understanding and my own definition of money, we're exchanging value.
Interesting. Okay. Let's find ways to hopefully find a middle where your money and your energy are kind of at the same bar. And I think that is mainly and mostly through investing and saving and so on and so forth. And the UJ Invest, or the UJ Investment Society, does a really great job on educating different people on this. But let's start with why it was created and how it came about. What inspired it?
Okay. Okay. First of all, just to put it out there to people, we do not give financial advice to people as per the Financial Advisory Intermediary Services Act of 2002, South Africa. We are just here to talk about our portfolios, right? What we're doing as the UJ Investment Society, and what we're doing and what we intend to do in the future, and our successes, right? And now going back to your second question. So basically, what inspired us to start this society was it was just a group of guys who were doing finance, right? And we just we had the passion that extended beyond the classroom and the lecture halls. We just we really enjoy finance. We would want to make something of ourselves. And the whole assignment writing, going to classes, sometimes you become more reactive than proactive. You tend to forget the bigger thing, like why you're doing what you're doing. So it was just, it started off as an idea that we needed a society where we held, each other accountable. We spoke to each other about the markets, about what's going on, what's hot on Wall Street, on JSE, in Shanghai, in Hong Kong, and Singapore, right? So yeah, then. That was in 2023. And then I remember we had our first ever meeting for how we're going to start the society and what we're going to do, and we're going to be in the execo on the 28th of December in 2023. And 9 January 2024, that's when we had our first ever meeting with the three of us, the co-founders, and wrote the constitution of the UJInvest. And from there, it's been upwards ever.
Wow.
Hopefully.
This is very interesting. You're speaking some big terms like what is hot in Shanghai and everywhere. If I'm just a novice beginner, a student just interested in learning more about investing, what does UJ Invest offer for me?
All right. So for starters, we are all students, we're all learning. I believe that we're all learning throughout the day and we have to be lifelong learners forever. So basically, one, it's a community, like I said. The whole academic journey, sometimes it drains you. It takes away the foresight of where exactly you're going,
Yeah.
right? You have a community of like-minded individuals with a passion. I mean, can I just say obsessed people, right? Or it's junkies, like we call ourselves,
Yes.
who are doing it. And, it also drives you, gives you intrinsic motivation. You also learn from other people and stuff. And we also have a bridge between practicality and what's happening in the classroom because we have like seminars, webinars with guys in industry, right, depending on what aspect of investment management you want to get into. Particularly guys who are like equity analysts, guys in private equity, guys in investment banking, asset management, and so forth. And we also have our own portfolios at UJInvest. We have a global portfolio. So let me just say we have an American equities portfolio focusing on NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange.
Okay.
We have a portfolio focusing on emerging markets, but our main focus right now is China. And we also have a local portfolio, of course, closer to home, focusing on JSE. So we have portfolio managers, we have analysts. So basically, we have we look at stocks. We decide, okay, we look at what's happening in the world. We look at the stocks. We look at the fundamentals. We're like, okay, maybe this can do. Let's put it in our portfolio, right? So you get to learn practicality of finance, not just from other students, but you're also learning from industry professionals that we try to have a good relationship with, and also get access to certain events that we do yearly, not during the year. And yeah, there's also free food. I know students sometimes they don't really have, yeah. So yeah, that's it's a nice opportunity to have, and we also do trading simulations. We also do like simulations. Basically, you get like a real life scenario. Basically, like you're an investment manager, you have 10, 20 million, right? You're a portfolio manager, you have to listen to what's happening in the markets. It's 1 hour. You basically make investment decisions. You trim your portfolio or whatever you do. We also, we do things with, the other global organizations that we partner with that actually give you real life experience. And yeah.
Wow, that is interesting. You're using the word portfolio often,
Yeah.
and as a novice finance junkie, exactly what does that mean? Break it down for us. What is a portfolio?
Okay, so basically, a portfolio is when you have like a group of investments. Like let's say you have your shares for Sasol, you have your shares for AVI Holdings, PEP, Mr. Price. It's just like a
Collection of them.
collection of your investments.
Okay,
Right?
okay,
Yeah.
interesting. I want to find out a little bit more about your financial journey. Mine started at a very young age when I had to start managing my mom's budget and ensuring that everything was well balanced. At the time, I knew very much so that I wanted to equip myself with more knowledge on exactly what money is, how it works, and how especially I can make money make more money for me.
Okay.
I love that saying of money works while you're sleeping. I was like, wait, what? That sounds amazing. How were you exposed to money that brought you to then becoming a co-founder of UJ Invest?
That's interesting, right? So, this saying, I don't know how true it is. They say accountants are stingy. So my mother is an accountant by profession. So my mother is a person who wants accountability with money. Every dollar spent was to be accounted for. So let's say you're going out with your friends, you're going to the movies, right? And the price for the movies is probably 50 rand, and you probably need 80 rand for popcorn, whatever, and transport. She'll give you that 130, right? And then she says, okay, I know things are subject to change, right? Here's the emergency fund. She gives you an extra 50 rand. Then she says, bring my receipts back home. I want to see how you spent your money, right? So because you don't want to get into trouble with your mother, right? It becomes something that becomes second nature. Like you account for your money, you budget for your money, and then later on, I think around 14 actually, I read the first finance book I ever read was Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, not the Rich Dad Poor Dad one, the famous one, but it was Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. It was during the December holidays, from the 22nd of December to 24th December. I read up to page 98, right? And then I was like, oh, this is quite interesting, right? And then later on, I started also I was also someone who was passionate like about global economics, what's going on in the global markets. Also loved what's going on in the news, what's the new novel idea that's going on. I remember around 2014, I went to school. I told people about space stories, and people were like, "Nah, he's lying," because that's how I kept myself up with trends and what's going on in the world. So I just started to look for ways where I could integrate like my love for geopolitics, history, human nature, whatever, with what's going on in the markets.
That's interesting. I'm assuming you've read quite a number of books that have to do with finance and money. What's your number one book that you'd recommend? Mine has to probably be Rich Dad Poor Dad. That or The Psychology of Money. One of the two. What about you?
So, like, depending on what, like, how to like just manage your money, or like just books on investing.
I think books on investing, a starter book for
All right.
investing,
So
perhaps.
yeah, I know it's quite controversial to most people, but the best one one of the best books that I've read was The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, who happens to be Warren Buffett's mentor. But this is not in any chronological order, right? I mean, there are good investment books out there. There's a book called One Up Wall Street by Peter Lynch. So a great book to read. Also, even for people who don't have any background of sorts in finance, it's a very good book to read. There's also a book called Margin of Safety by Seth Klarman. I think it's also a good investment book to read. And there's a book called Money, Master the Game by Tony Robbins, where he basically interviews like the best finance minds in the world, from your Warren Buffetts, your John Templetons, your Ray Dalios, your Kyle Bass. It's a very good book to read as well. And it also helps with you understanding financial planning and budgeting as well. Yeah.
Which is very important, yeah.
And there are a lot of books out there that are quite interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to note down a few and then also go start reading and collecting more knowledge on them. I want to ask you, with the current economic climate and announcements such as the one the financial minister just made about the value-added tax increasing from 12% to now 12.5%, it's creating a bit of uncertainty among students, especially students who are interested in investing. What advice would you give to them?
Like, again, I don't give investment advice, right? But yeah, so the whole VAT thing, like from 15% to 0.5%, I know I know it's consumers who basically take like a hit, because whenever a price goes up whenever like tax goes up, the price is just passed down to whoever is buying you, right? So they just up the price. So yeah, I mean, with investing, I don't think there's really an impact that's going to happen. I mean, if you want to buy a stock, right? Because I don't think stocks are VAT, right? But for the day-to-day consumer, prices are going to hike. So yeah.
Interesting. To wrap things up, as an individual who is interested in joining UJInvest, what are some of the big takeaways that you have noticed from individuals that have joined the community?
Okay. Like I said, there's this whole idea of a community, right? And you get to learn from other people as well. We have guys who have been like from last year. I mean, I don't want to mention names, the Poppy Act, but we have guys who have gone on to go to, firms like KPMG, like from our exec committee. You guys have gone to your RMBs, big banks, you know, global banks as well. So yeah, I think there really is an advantage for you to join. You get to learn from other guys, right? And you know, when you learn from, and I think there's a different language probably that other students will speak to each other. You know, when you learn from your peers,
Yeah.
and also by the way, we also have like something that we're working on with YSOC, that's Vita Investment Society, and Beta One from UP. So we basically have like an information exchange going on. We basically have, you know, we share certain things together just because we need to build an infrastructure in Gauteng and in South Africa so that, you know, the investment world, you know, becomes accessible for multiple people. Yeah.
And so if I'm interested to join UJInvest, where do I go? What platform is there? When do you meet up? How can I be in contact?
All right. So if you want to join, you basically go on, you follow us on our social media pages at UJInvest on Instagram and UJ Investment Society on LinkedIn. I mean, apparently we happen to be a LinkedIn baddie.
Ooh, okay.
So you go there on LinkedIn, you follow us, and you go on Instagram. I think there's a link to a membership form on our LinkedIn page and on our Instagram pages. And then from the membership form, there's also a link to our WhatsApp group. That's where we also do announcements to members, and we also reach out via email to our members, the active members as well. There's no membership fee. It's free and open to everyone, regardless of what degree you do, whether you're doing sports, you're doing engineering, you're doing finance, you're doing accounting. It's open to everyone.
Interesting. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
It's so true what he says. I love the aspect of community there because it reminds me of a very famous quote. It says, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." That's all we have for you on today's wonderful episode. Always remember that innate ability matters, but consistent effort yields results. I'll catch you in the next one.